Hi everyone, I'm Rincey and this is Rincey Reads. Today I'm going to be doing a book review on A Cress by Marissa Meyer. This is the third book in the Lunar Chronicles series. I will have links in the description to my reviews of Cinder and Scarlet in case you wanted to watch those. If you haven't read the first two books in the series, I suggest not watching this video just in case I talk about something that happened in the previous books. I don't want to ruin those books for anyone, but if you have read those books and you haven't read Cress yet, there will be no real spoilers for Cress in this video. As you all probably know at this point, the Lunar Chronicles is sort of a futuristic fairy tale retelling where Cinder was a retelling of Cinderella, Scarlet was a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood, and this is a retelling of Rapunzel. Now, as the series has been going on, it's been straying more and more from the fairy tale aspect of it, in the sense that Cinder was almost completely a direct retelling of Cinderella with the added twist, and Scarlet followed Little Red Riding Hood relatively closely, and Cress, while it has elements of Rapunzel, it isn't super strong in terms of a Rapunzel retelling, which is actually something that I like because as the series is going on, there's the overarching story of this war with the Lunars and Queen Lavanna and all of that stuff that takes more of a predominant place in the storyline, which is necessary now that this is the third book out of the 4 total. So it's more about those aspects, and you can see hints and nods to the Rapunzel story more than this being a direct retelling of Rapunzel. This story picks up pretty soon after the end of Scarlet. Cinder and Scarlet and Wolf and Captain Thorn have all basically just escaped from France after being attacked by Lavanna and the wolves and all that stuff. They have escaped into space and now they are dependent on Cress, who is sort of like a computer whiz genius. She is trapped in a satellite that is orbiting the Earth, and so they go to rescue her, but then things sort of go awry and chaos ensues. I don't want to say too much about the story itself because I don't want to ruin anything. There are a lot of pieces that you can see coming together that were planted in the first couple books, which is always a nice little treat. I really have to say that Cress might be my favorite in the series so far, which is saying something because I really like Cinder and I wasn't quite as in love with Scarlet, but Cress sort of won me back again, which makes me really happy. I really like the character of Cress. I thought she was super interesting and a nice contrast to both Cinder and Scarlet. I like that Marissa Meyer has created these 3 female characters who are all very unique and different and have very strong personalities still. There's also a lot of development with Captain Thorn, which is really nice because I liked Captain Thorn in the second book, but you don't really see a lot about him in that book, and you find out significantly more about him and you see more of his character in this book, which I definitely enjoyed. I really like his character a lot. He might be my favorite character in this entire series so far. With the addition of Cress in the storyline, you do get less of Scarlet and Wolf because the main storyline follows mostly Cinder. You still get plenty of her, and you get glimpses also into Prince Kai's storyline as well as Queen Lavanna, but it mostly just follows Cinder and Cress, which is something that I'm okay with because, like I said, Scarlet wasn't my favorite book, and so those characters weren't necessarily my top priority in terms of what I wanted to be reading, but I have a feeling with the way things went in this book, there will be a lot more Scarlet and Wolf in book 4. If you like the series, you probably are going to like Cress a lot. If you liked Scarlet a lot, I'm kind of interested to see how you'll be reacting to this one because there isn't quite as much Scarlet and Wolf, and I know that there are people out there who really like those 2 characters, so there isn't quite as much of them in this book, but I imagine there'll be more in the future. But as someone who really loves Cinder, wasn't crazy about Scarlet, this was, you know, just so much fun and I loved it a lot, and I am super excited for book 4 even though I know it is, you know, a year or so away. So yeah, those are just my basic thoughts on Cress. This wasn't quite as a full-blown review as I normally do on books because I feel like if you are this invested in the series where you're going to be reading the 3rd book, I don't want to give too much away. I think a lot of this book is mainly just a ramp up into book 4 because we are coming to the final act of the series. I feel like there isn't quite as much to talk about, but it's really interesting to see the pieces that are all coming together. But if you have any questions about the series or about Cress in general, feel free to leave comments down below. Or if you have read Cress already as well, feel free to leave your comments down below about that as well. So yeah, that's all I have for now, and thanks for watching.